Welcome, witches, to today's video. I'm going to do a series where I discuss the top 5 books in a certain genre or category. So welcome to today's top 5 horror picks. Let me know if any of these are on your top horror list or what books would be on your top horror list. The first one, Rose Matter by Stephen King. I can't tell you how many times I've read this, and every time I still enjoy it just as much as the first time. But I've definitely read this probably more than 5 times. And it delivers every time. Rosie Daniels' husband, Norman, he's a corrupt, abusive cop. She, one day, after just this spot of blood, lets her off and she leaves. She escapes and she's rebuilding her life. She finds a painting called Rose Matter that she's just for some reason really drawn to. She gets it. And weird things start happening. However, Norman is going to find her. Does definitely need a trigger warning for domestic abuse. There are some very vivid, violent scenes. It's definitely gory. It's definitely bloody. It's got a dash of a supernatural element. At the beginning, there's not so much of it. And then as the story goes, it definitely builds into a supernatural element. It's definitely Stephen King in every way with his dash of supernatural that he can do. Even though this is a longer book, it by no means drags at any point. This is a horror. It's got a very realistic aspect. And then as the story goes, there's more of a supernatural element that's brought into it. So highly recommend, but do take heed of that trigger warning. The next one is Good Girls Don't Die by Christina Henry. So this follows 3 women, Celia, Allie, and Maggie, who each one is trapped in a book trope. For example, Celia wakes up, realizes that something's off, and everything matches perfectly to a cozy murder mystery. Then Allie wakes up in a strange place. She was supposed to be on a girls' trip with her friends, but then her friend's boyfriend comes, and both of her friends' boyfriends come for her birthday, and they go to this secluded cabin. Nobody's really sure how they got there. And then she ends up in a closed circle slasher. Then there's Maggie, who has no idea how to get there, but she wakes up and she's in this Hunger Game maze runner where they have to get through a maze in a certain amount of time, and they all have to survival, and they're all pitted against each other. So it's kind of a mix of survival Hunger Game type thing. The women end up getting out of their tropes, catching up to each other, and that's how the story goes. I highly recommend. It does go through one girl, second girl, third girl together. Anyways, I really enjoy this. This is action-packed. It incorporates all the best things about each of those tropes. So you're definitely probably going to enjoy one more than the other, especially if you have a particular enjoyment of a certain trope over another. Sorry, I had to go let the dog in. She thinks I'm going to go for a run. So she's got really excited to run downstairs to her pillow pile. She's going to be sadly disappointed when she realizes I'm not going down there. Anyways, back to Good Girls Don't Die by Emily Henry. I think this is a good intro into horror for those who are mystery thriller lovers who want to dabble a little bit more, because this is more of an entry-level book, in my opinion, into horror, as opposed to very blatant horror like some of these other ones or other books you may read. So I think this is a good kind of bridge gap. This is a good way to bridge that gap between a thriller to a horror. So recommend. The next one is The Thicket by Noelle W. Ihili. Nora's brother dies at this haunted house carnival place. The killer just walks out in the middle of everybody because everybody's in costume, so he doesn't necessarily stand out. They shut it down for a while, but then a few weeks later they open it back up, and Nora's I gotta figure this out, and realizes that the killer isn't done. This is good. It's action-packed. It's fast. I also, on a side note, I love the feel of this book. It just, it has such a feel to it. It's all not related to the story, but definitely enhance the reading experience, just holding the book. No supernatural aspects to this. It's definitely a serial killer, haunting, horror type thing. It is fairly short, but this is a good kind of horror if you don't want a supernatural element to it. It's not intensely gory, but there are definitely times where there are moments of that. So do go check that one out. Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno-Garcia. She does such a thing with atmosphere, just in the vibes in it. Books. Absolutely Loved this. It has such a subtle, spooky, haunted house vibe. So if you like haunted house, but not necessarily the very classic haunted house, more of a like the house is living instead of just like haunted by ghosts, this is a good one. Noemi goes to see her newly married cousin because her cousin sends her like this message being like, I need help. And she's like, that's strange. I'm going to go. Her new husband's really weird. The house is really weird. People don't really go around it. There's also the husband's like shy brother who she's not sure, like, is he on her side? Is he not? And then as she's there, like weird things are definitely happening with her cousin, but like weird things start happening with her. And she like feels this like weird connection that the house is doing stuff. It's very strange. It's very spooky, very I keep hitting the light, but very atmospheric. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm also really excited for her next horror, Bewitching, that is coming out in July or August. I just got done filming some summer anticipated releases and I mentioned that one. So do go check out that video. It should be posted right before this. So yeah, go check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, do it all. Come For Me with Apples by Catheryne and Valente is a horror novella. So it's really short. I actually wish it was longer. This is definitely a fans of Stepford Wives. Again, this is more of a subtle, it's not a gory horror. Sophia is this like perfect housewife. She's got this perfect husband. Everything is perfect, but she starts to kind of like have thoughts and like wonder things and have kind of these like flashes of memory. Her neighbors don't really like, there's something off sometimes with their neighbors. Her husband doesn't like really answer questions. There's this like basement locked and she can't go into it. And she just starts asking questions and things go weird, really short. I don't want to spoil anything. Really go check this out. If you're a Stepford Wives fan, highly recommend. Not to spoil anything. So those would be my top 5 horror books that I would suggest in kind of different levels of horror. Some are a little bit more gory, some are a little bit more supernatural, some are just like kind of an intro, and some are just, you know, haunted house, spooky vibes. Let me know if you've read any of these horrors. What would be your top 5 of horrors? And I will see you in the next one. Bye, witches.